All right, what's up, everybody? I paused that boring shit because who cares? I mean, we fucking had the worst closing, so I feel bad for Matt that he has to come to that. But you guys know he's gonna bring the energy. So, uh, I played his stuff before. If you haven't seen him, he's Conan Jam anywhere, everywhere. And without further ado, let me bring him on. Boom. Hey,
Ladies and gents, Jay, I'm never going to forgive you for how terrible that court case was before. That's all your fault, by the way.
it is. I apologize. How dare I even fucking play that? I don't know why I would do such a thing. um,
Pretty messed up.
I gotta know, what did you think when Calder sends you a message and is like, "We got this show, this court thing, and we played your stuff. Would you come on?" I could just imagine you're probably like, "What the fuck? What is she talking about?"
No, not at all, man. It was cool. I think I rarely get DMs via Twitter, so it's all changing, but it was great. And I was watching some of the clips, and it's cool to see.
All
Yeah,
right,
I'm happy
awesome.
to be on. This is great. Thanks for having me.
Of course, and I don't. I
Got my
told you.
favorite mug too,
Oh,
so feeling
nice.
good.
Let's. You probably can't see because you're looking at the chat in our thing, but later when you if you pull it up on YouTube, we have a custom emoji of your face that my wife made. So everyone right now, let me put it on the screen. Everyone right now is using your emoji, your custom emoji
Wow,
with your from your. I think that's from your TikTok. I think she used your
it
picture on
is.
there.
I'm
Um,
sorry to disappoint. The mustache is gone. I just got rid of it yesterday, like a fool.
Sorry, ladies. Tell him your fans are thirsty. So there's a lot of thirst going on in there.
Mm.
Um, so I saw from your bio, like you're like a marketing, like a high level marketing rep, and you do the stuff on the side. What's the deal?
Yeah, man. Sorry, I'm just kind of rousing on the West Coast here, but I work in advertising. I've written a lot of like TV commercials. I used to work on a lot of beer brands. Just been a writer and a copywriter, creative director, all those things. So yeah, it's been kind of a while. I lived in Ireland for a few years. I ran a little nonprofit with my brother in Dublin. So yeah, man, I've been bouncing around, and now I'm in California.
Is that how you? I assume that's how you got how I found about you first on TikTok was the doing the Irish person pretending to be an American. Is that where that came
Yeah.
from?
Oh man, because I would just be out at the pubs in Dublin, and people would just be saying these things, and they'd be like, "Ah, do you know what I mean? Like, you throw it in the bin, 3, 4 Guinness later, and you're getting fucking langered," and they'll just say these things that didn't make sense at the time, and then I would go home and just try to pretend that I was an Irish person doing an American accent, because they would always do the same stuff. They'd be like, "Oh, it's literally I drink a Corona and I have Budweiser and watch court cases," and they would, yeah.
Let me pull it
But it
up.
was, yeah, it was
I gotta pull it up. The let me get the clip that I found you from initially because I think it's the funniest fucking thing. And then
oh hell yeah,
after I found that, oh, I got your links, guys. See, he's the same thing everywhere. TikTok. He's got a musical on YouTube,
I
Instagram,
do a
YouTube,
musical.
Twitter, and you wrote the musical, right?
I did, yeah. I wrote it with my writing partner, and we put it out last October. It was fun. It was all about a terrible Airbnb experience that we kind of made fun of Airbnb, and it turned into this full musical. It was bizarre.
That's awesome. My wife was watching it, and she's a theater major, and she noticed you had a bunch of references. So, are you a theater fan in general?
I grew up. I'm the middle of five, so I had a bunch of sisters and brothers, and my sisters were obsessed. And every long car trip was Rent, Les Mis, Wicked. So I kind of was just indoctrinated into it, and it turned out to be a good thing because I had never written a musical before, and it was a little easier once I had that.
Oh, awesome. All right, so here's let me. I think it's right here. This is the one that I found you on TikTok. By the way, there it is. There's his account. So make sure you're following him. I mean, he doesn't need my help. Yes, 238,000 followers. I have like 60, but follow him. And here it is.
Howdy, dudes. Sorry to barge in on your game of Texas Hold'em, but I have not chill news. Brett and Cody are in hospital. They were driving their Mustang Chevrolet truck up in Boston City, but the motorway was slippy, and they almost hit trees and ended up hitting a Starbucks bullet factory.
That's my
The car
favorite
looks like
part.
absolute shite, but the boys will be grand. Hey, the American football match. Wow, is that a HD television? Remarkable. Pass me some crisps and a red Solo cup and a Budweiser camouflage. Howdy, dudes.
So that's what it's like over there when they're doing their impressions.
That's what it's like. Yeah, it's just these little kind of nuances. And I was talking to a buddy from Ireland yesterday, and the way they just say like controversy or aluminium, like these little things always seem to crack me up. So,
That's
um,
funny.
yeah, it's fun. It got like
Well,
written up in an Irish newspaper. They were like, "This American tricks people." It's,
get the fuck out of here. That's
oh
amazing.
yeah, I think when I first started doing it, I was living in Dublin, so my algorithm was going to Irish people, and they thought I was just had a pretty good American accent. So it's weird how it's worked on both
It-
ends of the spectrum there, which is
was
kind of
was that
wild.
the first one that hit for you on TikTok, or did you have other stuff that hit before that that like went really viral?
Ooh, well, the McConaughey stuff,
Yes.
if I was to do a little brang to Jerry, then yeah, that the McConaughey stuff was just kind of how I naturally sound, and my name is Matthew Conahan, so it was more just fitting. And I think I listened to the Green Lights book during COVID, so I like kept hearing it. So that one blew up pretty quick. But the first one that blew up was me and my little brother. We were just driving, and I'm naturally very terrible at ordering food online or like over the phone. I just get a little nervous, so I'll kind of prep in my head, and then when I start calling them, like, "Hey, do you guys have food there or something?" And then just hang up because I couldn't. So that one we were just making fun of that, and that one blew up, got like 6 million views or something.
Holy shit. Is
Yeah,
that
it's
one of the ones
crazy how
on
it
here?
worked.
Let me go back. Is that one of the? Do you know where that is on the old TikTok machine?
Oh, damn. I think like if you look on mobile, that one I might have pinned it. It was from right at the beginning, like
Oh, all
2020. It was
right.
from ages ago. It would take a long time.
All
I
right.
would
All right.
say, yeah. I think
Well,
yeah,
go ahead.
there's a lot of my face on there. Oh lordy.
Well, it's funny you say that. So for mine, I'll show you mine just real quick. So I just
Yeah,
do
let me
like
see.
court stuff. So when I do put my face there, like who is this fucking asshole? And shut up. So at least like yeah, when it's yours, they want to see you. So but I
Yeah.
think I was saying before. I'll play this one, the Peaky Blinders. To me, I haven't seen a better
All
impression.
right, listen here. Happy Christmas, everyone. And I'd like to raise a glass to celebrating with my family and Alfie, of course.
Well, there, Tom, thank you kindly for your
That's the best
invitation
one right there.
to the Christmas celebration, mate, where we can praise the false prophet and, I can feast with you filthy gypsies.
Thank you for the lovely words, Alfie. Now, before we say grace,
Tom, listen to this, mate. Jingle bells, John Boy smells, Arthur is my name.
Your fucking stupid brother probably thinks Santa Claus is coming down the chimney, mate, bringing fucking crumpets and whiskey.
Oi!
please don't disrespect my brother. They can do that on his own.
Fa la la la, Linda. Love you, Linda.
Forget the fucking grace. Everyone just finish your fucking whiskey. And no fucking fight.
So here's what I got to know, because I played one before where it was Frank Caliendo, and he was doing like he was actually showing you as he does it. Like, so how long does it take you to like perfect that? A long time, or
Oh man, it depends. I think like if I was doing the Peaky Blinders and he's into the Tommy Shelby, and if you switch to Alfie, it kind of goes Michael Caine for a little bit. So it's like, oh, right, Mr. The Batman, and then it'll be, all right, this is he, mate, Jay. If you're talking the Adam Montgomery case, man, he's a filthy murderer. He's being charged for weaponry, but he's done far worse, mate. But then it kind of dips back into Michael Caine, and then it's but the Tommy Shelby one is easier because it's more my registry. I don't know, wedding. So it's like, listen here, and he says, don't tell Polly. He'll say generation. There's a lot of like words that you can kind of buzzwords that'll get you into the voice. Like for McConaughey, it'll be like truth or like the universe. It's like those things with the whistles that you
the
can sort
whistle,
of
the whistle, like if when
yeah.
it's the whistle, that's where you could really hear it.
Yeah, honestly, it was I think the McConaughey one. It's just I had stopped wearing my retainer, so I got a little bit of a gap in my front teeth, so I was able to naturally just hit that whistle. And it's been a blessing and a curse because it brought in a lot of people, but my natural voice is very much like that, and they're like, "Are you just doing a terrible attempt at a McConaughey every time you speak?" So it's a little tricky.
The
Just
the
Murph.
the chat is going wild, so I don't even know if you're looking at it. They're fighting over you.
Oh, I
I
can't.
I think
Whoa, look
they're
at
gonna
that.
meet each other and get into fist fights over getting your hand in marriage. So just heads up. So I mean,
Yeah.
ultimately, like, do you like want to do something where like you're acting or like doing stuff on the stage, or like what's your, or like you just
Oh
you know.
man. Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of like why I moved out here is because I don't really fancy myself as an actor or I've done readings and self tapes and stuff, but what I love to do is just make things that I find funny or that I'm interested in. I'm sure very similar to you and just being able to make it happen and then up the stakes every time. So being able to make these little videos, you have all the control. You can think what do you think is funny? It goes out there. It hits. It doesn't. It hits. Whatever. The musical was great because we had a pretty big ensemble of 12 people or so, but we were able to sort of get the theater. We could control it. We could build it. The children's book, that was just like the help of some
We
really good friends.
guys,
Um,
Shannon just put his link tree in there. It has the babe put the and she'll put in the link for the book. It's a kid's book, Rolling the Tumbleweed. I read it to my kids yesterday. They said, "Dad, we love you again." After reading that book, they were like, you were kind of a dick, but now you've read. But tell them about. She just put the link in there. Tell them about the book, kids book, right?
wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thanks so much for getting it. I mean, that means a ton, Jay. That's really cool of you to do that. And yeah, the children's book is about. It was actually my little brother's idea, Bo. But when I was living in Ireland, he wasn't really going to make it. It was a couple years after he said it, so I ended up writing it with my other brother. And yeah, it's a fun little book. It's about this tumbleweed that leaves home for the first time and kind of like sees the world. But it's really about sort of like the friends, and it's more about sharing these memories with the people he loves and the people that he calls home. So the illustrations are really a super talented friend of mine, another Matt Maniscalco. He did them, so that was fun. Yeah, but it's again to your initial question, it was like, what do I want to do? It's keep making stuff that I think is interesting or funny or will make people smile, and then make it better and better every time. So we'll see.
Uh,
We shall see.
your latest video, I'm going to pull it up now. This is on the old YouTube, which I already sent people over. Guys, if you haven't subscribed, this is the one place where I think I have more subscribers than he does. Everywhere else, he destroys me. But check him out on YouTube. And I like this because what you might not know is I worked in car insurance. I was a claims adjuster for 18 years, and I just quit
No
2 months
way.
ago. 3 months ago, starting this.
Congrats.
Thanks. Well, I started this experiment that I'm hoping works. But when I see these videos about introducing yourself, it strikes a chord because you have these fucking Zoom meetings. They're like, everyone give a fun fact about yourself, and they like the higher ups are like, this is it. This is where my people are going to get together. They're going to love this fucking job. They're going to love themselves. If you just give one fun fact, they'll be able to connect and not realize they're living in fucking corporate hell, and their soul is being sucked from their body every day. So let me. I'm gonna play this one because
Cheers, peers. Fun fact about me is I'm banned from Google. Fun fact, my wife is under 7 feet tall. Our first date, welding. She didn't like me at all, but sparks did fly. I can tell you that. Yeah, I like to whittle avocado pits into Cholula tops for shits and gigs and some serious dough. What else? I've beaten the game of golf twice. I traveled the world trying to find myself, and it actually happened in a Jiffy Lube outside of Little Rock. And talk about an auto body experience, right, folks? Heyo, tip your waitresses. Oh, let me show you on Bing Maps the exact location. The missus just told me I'm immune to gaslighting. Pretty cool. Old ball and chain, I see my wife's a bit of a unicorn, mainly because she's fictional. Would assume Peninsula, but I'm obsessed with straights. Gibraltar, my dad. Nobody's gonna have a funeral at night. We turn the hearses into party buses. Easy side hustle. If we all quit right now, we'll double it. Pivot to boat funerals, throw off a bitch of a wake, folks. Oh, perfect fit. And I think I would be a perfect fit at this company, I think. Oh, I've been on mute. Let me start again. Cheers, Pierre.
That's the best part. I've been on mute.
Yeah, just feel like it's constant. Yeah, that was a lot of those things are just ideas I have in my Twitter drafts that I'm like, oh, these are so stupid out of context. I can just like wrap them up into a little video.
So I take it you're not a big fan of the corporate culture, those fucking things you got to do all the time, or are you the one setting them up? Or since you're like the higher up, are you
No,
setting them up?
no, man. I would say it's funny when people are like taking it. It's just people are really boring about them, and so It's fun to just mess with it, and people are always like, "I have siblings," or "I love food," and so you're just like, "Come on, let's give me a little something." And we've all been guilty of it because you don't want to be like that guy at work who's like saying something outlandish, and you want to
Right.
be on the radar. So you're just kind of like, I go on hikes sometimes. So it's those things where you're like, all right, how can I be less interesting?
Right. Yeah. No one wants to be the person that, or some people do, but then those people, you're like, what an asshole. Just fucking say something quick and get off here.
Yeah. Or even just like when people do the fun facts and they're like, all right, now we got culture at work. We did
Yep.
it. Like that.
High five, everybody. Actually,
Consider it
let me pull up
done and
also,
dusted.
guys. So if you go to this is where you can find the musical. So
Ah,
how cool
This
is
show
this?
is based entirely
it's
on true events.
yeah, it's a long video. You don't have to watch
No,
it.
no, I'm not
But
going to show up. But like,
you don't
what was
wanna
the inspiration? So you got screwed by an Airbnb?
Yeah, man. And it's a bummer. I mean, I'm glad that we got it on video, but like being in that live theater with, 80 other people, we ended up having 3 nights. We sold out all 3 nights. It was just like a pretty raucous, fun thing. Um, but yeah, the Airbnb thing was one of these. My writing partner there on the left, he is like he will bring an idea to fruition more than anyone I've ever met. But basically, we had gotten this Airbnb when I moved out to LA. It was all a lie. It was this just comically overstated. It was a room with a curtain in it in the middle. It had no kitchen. They charged 6 grand. It was these like fees on top of fees. There was a squatter living in there, and then they still didn't give us back any of the
The
money. So
squatter?
yeah, his name was Yagi, and we have a whole song about Yagi, which is basically just a parody of Lola. Um, but yeah, it was this crazy thing. And Airbnb, the gist of it is that they did nothing about it. Like every time these things escalated, they'd be like, "Well, your problem now." So we figured, and that was sort of part of the zeitgeist too. People were getting upset with Airbnb about these crazy fees, all these things. And so we were like, our only recourse is to write a musical about it because a review would just feel half-hearted. And so we started kind of messing around, and it was just we wrote one song and then another song, and then we booked the theater only writing two of the songs of like the 8 or 9 songs. And then we went around LA casting people, which was really, really fun because I was like, all right, we need to cast our new landlord who's kind of the hero. And I want him to be like an older gentleman. I think that's just way funnier. And so we're going around Pasadena to these sort of like we we got we heard tell they were like, okay, there's sort of like an older crowd that sings karaoke at this jewelry store in like outside of Pasadena. I don't know how we heard this, but so we were going and like scouting these people sort of like over the age of 75 to see if we could get them into our musical. And then yeah, it was just like on Instagram I brought in some super talented like Stroh's an opera singer, some other influencer type of people that just want to be on stage. And I think it's a really cool, I feel like New York and LA are really the only places where that could have happened, just pulling a musical out of thin air. But
I mean, that's
it was fun.
amazing.
It was crazy.
And you said 3 nights. You sold out 3 nights. That's so awesome. I mean, to do
Yeah,
something like that and have your work appreciated, that must have been pretty special.
it was fun. It was definitely super fun. It was crazy. The video that was filmed was the first night, which we probably shouldn't have filmed the first night because our technical director, who was doing I made all like the projections, the lighting cues, the sound cues, all this stuff. He decided to drop out the day of,
Oh
and
shit!
so I had to. I was just if you watch the video, I'm constantly looking at this guy who was a saint. He helped choreograph the show. We like brought him in to help run the technical stuff, and I had to like teach him this little box an hour before the show. And so I'm basically just looking up, not moving. Like, all right, is he doing it? Is he doing it? And so it was
That must have
crazy
been. You
how it
must
all
have had a
worked out.
fucking nightmare when the guy tells you that I'm
Yeah,
not doing it today. Like, oh, that's a dick move, huh?
yeah. And what was that? And one of our leads dropped out 2 weeks before or a week before, and she
Holy
was a lead
shit!
singer. And so I went on Instagram and I just DM'd this girl who's a super talented girl. She's also like she makes a bunch of videos. Her name's Madeline Chalk. You might have seen her stuff on there, but she's really, really talented singer. And I just DM'd her. We met for coffee in Venice. And I was like, hey, I got this crazy script. We have a 6 hour rehearsal tomorrow. Are you up for this? You'd be a lead in it. Yeah, it was, and she crushed it. She was like the hit of the Rent parody, which was really fun.
That's awesome. I mean, that must have been so fucking stressful to have that. I mean, is that kind of just like you figured that's showbiz? Like, you just got to fucking figure it out, basically?
Yeah, I think so. And then so we got some more projects coming up down the pipeline, like trying to other things which will be fun. But a lot of it's based on like how crazy the world is, which I'm sure you see, and just like how we all we can do is make fun of the craziness that's going on, or else we'll
That's
lose our sanity.
Yeah, that's essentially why I think some people watch me with these court cases because basically everyone, most other people are just pretty serious the whole time, and I'm like I gotta show. I'll show you this clip of what we watched on my. We
Yeah,
watched
yeah, I
this.
got to see this.
We we watched this trial yesterday, and so the police asked this guy. They're like, "All right, this guy." They're like, So he's part of a hit, and he gets rid of a murder weapon. So they're like, "All right, guy, draw us a picture. It's in Florida. It's by like bridges. Draw us a picture of where the guns are, and watch this shit. Like,
Oh no, is it like the Leprechaun? Where
no,
they
just
drove
just
the-
watch watch him looking at it. Now watch the picture. Here it comes. Watch the zoom. Can you see? Can you see?
I can't see the screen. I think I just see
Let me
second
see if I
screen.
can get it on
Apologize.
YouTube. It might be better because it's the most. It's like a stick figure car with like a canoe
Oh my
on it.
gosh.
let me let me see if it looks better on my. But like I call that shit out, and like that's
Oh
like you
hell
said,
yeah.
like if I don't have these comedy breaks with you, or like I bring up your stuff. Have you ever seen Bungalow Jonathan? I bring up his stuff. He's fucking hilarious. Have you
No,
ever
who's
seen him on
that?
TikTok? Oh, all right, this
Bungalow
you're gonna like.
Jonathan?
Yeah, you got it.
Hell
You're
yeah.
gonna like. I think you're gonna like him. You don't even need to see the screen, but he does parodies. Where is he? Where's Bungalow? And he's the funniest fucking guy in the world.
I gotta see that sketch. I couldn't see it on the screen. But
I'll put up. So this guy does.
Yeah.
He's deadpan, and he does these
Mm.
songs. All right, so here he is. What? There we go.
Am I able to see this?
Oh, you can't see it? Can you? Oh, I'm an
Can't
idiot.
see it. Yeah.
I'm a fucking idiot. I have a wrong fucking screen. I'm sorry. You'll be able to see
I'm
mine
sorry,
too.
I couldn't see. I couldn't.
I'm
see
an
the
idiot.
last one,
Sorry,
yeah.
everybody. I'm a fucking idiot. All right, here we go. And now you'll be able to see the thing when I show because I'm a fucking idiot.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Okay,
Here we go.
cool.
What an idiot.
Why am I always tired until I'm trying to fall asleep at night? Why am
This
I
is all he
all?
does.
Wouldn't it be nice if it were summer? Then I wouldn't want to kill myself. Sometimes I pretend like I'm a flower instead of living in capitalist hell.
So
Wow.
basically,
Yesterday I paid $7 for a fucking cabbage.
all right. So now I could show you. Now you'll be able to see because I'm not fucking figured it out like a dope. Here, now you can see. Here's the. Can you see it? You can see it now, right?
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Here we go. So watch. This is Tato.
Helping them
Draw us a
find the
picture
murder weapon
of
in
where
this
you
case,
threw the
right?
gun,
Here it
Tato.
is.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Oh
let's
my
talk about the amount of
gosh.
times that you went out.
So as you can see, you're going to be shocked to know they did not find the weapon after this
And in
drawing
fact,
that
you
he
only went
drew
out a
for
couple
the
of
fucking
times,
police.
a couple of days, a couple of hours.
He's a young Picasso right there.
Yeah, we were saying it. That's they got it at the Louvre. The Louvre. They're looking for that shit. Like, we need that.
Like, who is this guy? Need a
So,
caricature artist.
do you guys have any questions? Do you have any questions for our guest? And don't ask him to marry you. Any questions for Matt? I haven't even been looking at the chat. Whenever I have like a guest on, I try to focus on you, and then the chat goes wild. So let's see what's going on if we have any questions. No, you can't ask him for a date. My wife says we love your Twitter bio, expert witness. What's that about?
I have some friends. I have a friend that his job is just expert witness, and I find that so broad and ridiculous. So I'm just
Wait,
like,
literally, that's his job?
it's like part of his job title. He's just an expert witness. They like bring him in for court proceedings
Yeah, we
to
know
be an
that.
expert witness.
For
Yeah,
what though?
yeah.
What is he testifying to?
I don't know. I didn't ask any follow up questions, but he's like, yeah, I'm an expert witness, and I just thought that on its own. I think my bio before that was just like legible bachelor. Or,
Any projects in the works? We want to know.
Ooh, any projects in the works? Not any that I can speak about now. There's some big stuff coming that I'm really excited about, but I'll be sure to let you know when it's moving forward. But yeah, nothing really. I think I'm just trying to push the book out. It's now like in Barnes and Noble, which has been fun. And yeah, I would say the Barnes and Noble version is the best version of the book print wise. So if
Barnes
that's
and Nobles. Let me get that. While I do, when did you
Yeah.
realize you had the ability to do impersonations, and who was the first person you impersonated?
Great. Honestly, I very rarely did impressions. It was not a thing I did. The first one I did was the Tommy Shelby one, which was just like, it was like, all right, listen here, you know, watching the cases, watching the races, doing these. But it's a little bit insular because not a lot of people have seen Peaky Blinders. It's not like a fully universal thing. So that was more just for my friends. But I'm sure as you do too, Jay, like your friends will just kind of roast you and it's just all in good nature. So I did the McConaughey impression just over a voice memo thing. We were just kind of grilling each other back and forth. And my friends were like, oh, that's actually pretty solid. And the fact that they didn't just kind of rip it apart meant that it was something good. And so I didn't really put any videos out there until like mid 2020, late 2020. So fairly new to it. And that's when I did the first sort of impression.
And that's on.
But yeah, been trying to learn them ever since. Did it on TikTok. But then I've always kind of like, I've done voiceover work quite a bit. Like when I worked in advertising, I would do VO work. So I've always liked kind of, and I'm from Maryland, and I know a lot of people from Maryland that work in voiceover. Strangely enough, I think it's like a fairly neutral voice, or a neutral accent. And yeah, so I guess yeah, but I like to try to work on new ones. Like I'm working on like a Jason Bateman or like a Will Arnett, where it's like, yeah, come on, Bateman, like what are you like yeah, what are you trying to do here? Come on. And so I don't know, you got to work into it, but yeah. Oh, favorite comedian growing up? Damn, I loved Brian Regan. I thought he was so funny when I was a little kid. Like he cracked me up.
Just yesterday, I think it was. So in this one case, there's this attorney, and he fucking looks at the projector, and it's like he looked in the sun. So I just started screaming, "The big yellow one is the sun!" So I'm glad. I think no one got my reference. I'm like, please, people know Brian Regan.
It's a cup of dirt. He just is so ridiculous, man. He cracks me up. Him and like other like Dave Chappelle cracks me up. I think like Nate Bargatze is really funny. Yeah, there's a lot of just super funny. I mean, Bill Burr is obviously hilarious.
Do you ever perform in the city?
New York City. New York City. No, I don't do stand up. Really, I have a lot of friends out here that do stand up, and a lot of them are super good at it, but a lot of them are just constantly on the road. Like they're just grinding and grinding and grinding. And I don't know. It's just I like I like the writing side a little bit more, rather than sort of being on an eye. I don't know. It's different. Favorite place I've lived?
Ooh. Notice she's Canadian. She got the U in there. Favorite place you've ever lived?
It was a cottage outside Saskatoon. No, I lived in, I would say, summertime Chicago was incredible. Like, I think when I was 23, 24, living near, I lived next to Wrigley Field when the Cubs won the World Series, and that Sick. I think my liver is still like in pain from that.
Wow, it was just that's wild. Sorry, I didn't mean to go.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was people, jumping off a light post. I'm sure there were some court cases after that of just destroying the city, but yeah, man, that was wild. And then Dublin, living with my older brother in Dublin was great because we started that nonprofit company out there, and we were living together. And I mean, Ireland just has the coolest people, really funny. They'll make fun of you if they're your friend. It's just like it's a great, and it's a beautiful country. So LA, I'm starting to like more and more. I think people talk a lot of shit about it. But if you can kind of get to the beach, you can mosey out that way if you're fortunate enough to like get close enough to there. It's just so nice to be able to be like outside and in an open space.
Matthew Calder, did you mean Matthew McConaughey in Succession, or I'm assuming that's what you meant. I don't know if Matthew McFadden is.
Oh, he does. He's like, hey, buddy. Hey, Greg. Can we talk for a sec?
Oh, that's him. I don't watch Succession. That's Matthew McFadden.
Oh, he does. Yeah, he always talks about. He's like Shiv, or he goes. He's always talking to this tall guy, Greg, and he goes, "Hey, listen here, buddy, you little shithead." He just has this kind of high pitch.
That sounds a little. That's a little Jason Bateman, right? Like that's
similar. So like, I think McFadden or Tom in Succession would be like a, "Hey, buddy," and then Bateman would be like, "Hey, bud, come on, listen here, man. Hey, Buster, pipe down, okay?"
That was your. Well, here's the link. I put it in the chat, guys.
Oh,
rolling the traveling tumbleweed.
He's moving. He's grooving.
Blown away by the incredible artwork and humor in the book. The children absolutely loved it and were thoroughly entertained from beginning to end. They enjoyed it so much that they started calling me Dad again instead of my first name. Well, that's that's a fucking glowing review. Did you write this review? Who wrote this review?
I think I know who wrote that review. I think it was my buddy Bobby.
But... Cool Stepdad 23. That's a glowing review. You can't get a better review than that.
One of the coolest stepdads in town. That's hilarious. My YouTube stuff. I don't really post on YouTube as much, man. I gotta figure that out. But dude, I can't crack the YouTube Shorts thing.
Well, here's the thing with YouTube Shorts. Like, you either hit with the, and I've never really hit. My shorts have only got like, I think the max I've got is like 20,000 views. But like, I don't know. Do you know Gary Vaynerchuk? Are you familiar with Gary V? Yeah. So his whole thing is you got to do them because they're connected to Google, and like if you're not doing them, like it's a mistake. So I've been trying to do them, but they don't hit like TikTok does. I don't know what it is with TikTok and the algorithm there, but I'm sure you've seen. You can have something like where like overnight you have like 1 million fucking views, and it's like wild.
Yeah, TikTok's very. It's got this weird. It's a lottery system. I'll post something on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, like the same video, and it could get 5 million views on TikTok and then nothing on Instagram. Or I can post it on Instagram. Like I think the fun facts one I just did got like 500,000 views on Instagram. And then where I have 5 times more followers on TikTok, I got maybe, like 1,000 views, if that. So it's weird. It's bizarre how it all works. Like you can get really lost in it and be like, just zoned in on why certain things work and why things don't. But my initial thought, and I try to think about this every time I post something, is that it shouldn't matter. The algorithm cannot affect my mood. I have a life, outside of making content that is fulfilling. That's sort of what I want to do. But if I can make stuff that I find funny, that's really the barometer of what I put on there. And if I think it's funny and it's not gonna like really offend people or make people sad, then like I think it's funny and it's not disrespectful, then I'll put it on there and can live with that. I don't want to be like interviewing people in Venice being like, hey, what's like who's the hottest girl and like I see those people all the time, and I'm walking around and I'm like, please do not interview me or I will totally like be sarcastic the entire time. So
well, I mean, that's at least you have a healthy way to look at it, because I am the opposite. The algorithm is my life. If I fuck it up, I want to drive into the ocean. I'm Googling what time should I be posting this shit? Like, why are certain things that I post at like 6 p.m. on Sunday? Like, I literally have like the thing. I'm like, when should I be posting this shit? And like, it is weird. Like you said, it's just like, you'd never know. Like I posted, like I have 60 fucking thousand followers. And I posted something that has 600 views. How did I fuck that up so bad? I have 60. Every person just looked at it once, I'd have 60,000 views. What's happening?
It doesn't make sense. And Jay, I full candor is I've totally done the exact same thing where like, all right, if I wait till 9:15 p.m. and I do this and I do like, I've tried to, in that show Homeland where she just has the boards and the strings and all these like sort of, or and It's Always Sunny when Charlie's doing it. But Charlie, it's just like. Yeah, it's like
Pepe Sylvia.
Yeah, he just can't read Pennsylvania is the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's Pennsylvania.
But basically, yeah, it's just like I can't keep. You hear all the gurus saying contradictory things, And I think eventually you're just like, all right, I can't keep up with this. I got to just do what I think is correct. Hopefully it works out, but I'm not going to just be at the mercy of this thing. It sounds so absurd, but
My
yeah.
wife just said that. My wife just said she's writing it down because she knows that it fucking affects my mood. So,
Yeah.
it's still going to, babe. Sorry, but
Well, it's tricky, especially if you're putting so much time into something. Like I'll put hours, I'm sure you put hours and hours into something. You're like, oh, this is it. This is the one. And then the one that will blow up is like me in the back of a truck doing a offhand McConaughey impression. I'm
Right.
like, hey, grab life by the canoe or something and just cruise. But like that, and I'll film that in 30 seconds. But then
Right.
you put time, you're writing jokes, you're doing all this. You're like, a lot of those fun facts things, I wrote that for a month, like just little notes here and there. Like, oh, this will work good. This will like those things that feel very offhand take a bit of time. And of course, it's like in the moment where can you add a little flourishes to it. But yeah, I think like keep doing what you're doing, man. Like your audience is so kind and like seems so engaged. So like if you keep doing what you think is interesting and fun and like clearly it's going to keep growing, which is cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We're trying here. We're trying. I don't want to go back to
Yeah.
the corporate life. I really don't. I'm trying to find. I want to find your McConaughey on here.
Yeah.
Is
Let's
it
see
under
what's a good one there.
impressions? You have.
I would say so. I would scroll. There's a lot of them on there, Jim.
Where the hell didn't you have like? Isn't there a thing where you have?
Yeah, on the mobile version there is for sure. But if you scroll down a little bit, sorry, might be getting tedious for.
No, it's fine. Oh, there we
he
go.
does the Gandalf one. Yeah, that
The best thing about being a wizard, man, is you say I'm late, but I'm always right on time. All right, listen here now, Bilbo, you sandbagging son of a gun. I got a tall order for a short man such as yourself, so listen here. Give me that ring real quick. You see, this ring has to go from here in the Shire all the way to the fires of Mount Doom. And sure, I could have one of my eagle buddies fly, caw, drop it right in there lickety split, but that would be too practical. See, that's why you need to get your little nephew, little Froyo Backskin Robbins over there to start carrying the ring right away and spend half his life doing so. Meanwhile, I'll be kind of kicking my feet up, blowing these cool little smoke rings, looking like a badass.
The best is the sound. You got the music in the back. You got the Lord of the Rings music.
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
Dude, the music helps a ton. I think it's wild when you post stuff and you hear it without the music, and then like I think some of the YouTube shorts you can't add certain music, so it just sounds so weird when it's just you alone in a car or a room. But the music feels like there's a little more ambiance to it.
Right. You would not believe the amount of times on YouTube I try to play music just to like even just sound bits. So I don't know if you remember during the pandemic, this song got really famous.
Okay, I'm bored in the house and I'm in the house bored in the house and I'm in the house bored.
So I played that for.
Oh, dude, I saw that on your Twitter. That were they flagged it for copyright.
Yeah, they took it down. It was 10 seconds, so that's 4 seconds. Well, hopefully YouTube gods leave me alone on that. But like, it's wild how. And then I played a Snoop Dogg video, and I didn't get a copyright claim. I got a thing that was like revenue sharing. I'm like, all right, that's fair. I mean, I could help. I know Snoop needs my help to make money, so I'm glad I can help him with that.
He's struggling right now. He's got no cash.
Crazy fact about me is that my grandpa invented the high five. If you haven't been to a Bastille concert in Budapest, you haven't lived. Hello, my name's Matt, and a wild fact about me is that I remember my birth. You may be wondering if I've traveled abroad, and yes, I have. Bought this hat in Chernobyl. I was born in the back of a taxi cab. Conceived in one too. Different cab, but technically I'm a Libra, but I identify as a steelhead. Ayo. Fun fact about me is my name's actually Rick. And when you're coming out, it was just so bright. It was too bright. Get me back up in there. They're not prescription, they're actually stolen. Stolen from Guy Fieri's personal secretary. She was in a wheelchair, so I just went down some stairs. Easy getaway. I know you didn't technically ask for a fun fact, but let's just say I'm excited to start my job here at the Department of Defense. So, crazy fact about...
I don't know if the Bastille references in there are so bizarre to me because I don't think people. I genuinely love Bastille. It started ironically. It's this band. They sing the song Pompeii. If you know that song, where it's like ayo. You might get copyright.
Let's bring up the old. Let's give them a plug because I'm sure they could use my help. Let's bring up.
I think they were like a #1 song.
This one, Pompeii.
You'll recognize it.
What the fuck? Oh, all right.
Yeah, yeah. So that I got brought to one of their concerts, sort of like it was their best. Shannon loves Bastille too, but they it was I was like, oh, I kind of liked them ironically, and then I kept listening to them, like, and I started to be like, oh man, these guys are kind of rock stars, and so I've had this sort of like ironic to genuine love for Bastille that I tried to like sneak in little Easter eggs because some people that follow me will be like, we need more Bastille content or we need more of this, but it's just so stupid to me. But I think it's funny.
I think it's fucking funny. At least
Dude,
it's cool.
I have a question for you too. This has been happening a bit recently, but do people kind of like come up and give you not critiques, or they're like, hey, you should be doing this, or hey, you should do this, or like, do you get a lot of that?
All the fucking time.
It's always contradictory too. It's always so funny to me.
Yeah. Well,
which ones have you been getting recently?
Well, I get there's certain trials that I should follow, or certain, like, everyone a lot of people at least want me to rewatch the Johnny Depp trial. So like everyone wants me to do that. I don't want to do that, but yes, I'll get like just weird DMs like from people I don't follow, and they'll say like you should like a lot of it is you should find this cold case, or you should look at this, and it's like, or you should do certain things. Some people don't like when I yell at people during the trial. They're like, you need to respect it. Some people do like. So I'm sure you get way more than me. You have a massive audience. So are they just like telling you to do the same impressions all the time, or what are they telling you?
A little bit of that. I did do a McConaughey for the Amber Heard trial thing where it was like, listen here, Judge, like, Amber Heard took a turd in my client's waterbed, man. Like she was just like, and it was like him being Johnny Depp's lawyer, where he's like, come on, Game Shabi, if you're going to try to find the truth in this, Amber Heard is a liar and a thief. She ain't got it's kind of the Lincoln lawyer style thing where she didn't even drive a Lincoln, man. She ain't trustworthy. But yeah, dude, it's been recently a lot of people that will say, it'll be the same people too. Sometimes I'll be like, hey, you should probably do more McConaughey videos. They haven't done many of those. And then the same person will be like, yeah, you should probably cut back on the McConaughey videos. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm trying to. And then they'll say, your stuff's just not edgy enough. Like your stuff's got to be edgier for me. Like I got it kind of and I'm like, yeah, but then less people can really enjoy it. I don't know. It's like I try to balance it. But then there was somebody was like, yeah, you don't act like in real life how you do in your videos. And I said, like, that would be insufferable. That would just be terrible if I was just spouting these, like, kind of like I'm doing now, is like spouting impressions and trying to do bits. But sometimes you got to just like enjoy the ride.
Trust me. I mean,
yeah. Or it's like, you can't be on all the time there. You can't be commentating.
I come off like, because I'm yelling, I'm screaming, and then I'm here with Shannon when the stream's over, and I shut my face, and I barely am talking. And people, like, if people met me, I worry about people wanting to meet me in real life because they'd be like, "Wow, I'm an introvert. I'm really quiet." Like, so, like you said, I think that would be like, I guess some people are like that. It makes me think of, I don't know, it makes me think of Howard Stern. Like, everyone thinks like he's gonna be like, you meet him and like he says it all the time, like he's quiet, he's secluded. Yeah. It's like a different kind of thing when you're doing this kind of stuff. It's so I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely you definitely gotta like put on a show, which is fun and like keep people entertained. But yeah, when you're offline, it's nice to log off.
I mean, it's gotta be hard for you, especially since you have such a huge audience on pretty much all your, I guess we got you on here. If I sent you a message on TikTok, there's no way you're seeing that, right? So since Calder sent it on Twitter, that's why you saw it.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, like if people DM me on Instagram and everything, I respond to almost everything. Like yeah, it's honestly like I don't get that many offers to be on things, which is I sometimes like there are certain things like that I've been asked to be on and I've said no just because I don't align with what they're doing, or like it feels a little bit too like away. But like I was watching you guys' stuff and really kind of enjoyed your commentary, so I was very happy to hop on and see the shaming of Jay and try to shame him myself.
Oh, I really appreciate that. I saw you do cameos too, right? So people could buy a cameo. Let me pull that up, right? Or do you not do that?
I have a great time with those cameos. People will give me, they'll give me like I love to mess around with those, honestly. Like the cameos, if they're like, yeah, I'm the best man at my buddy's wedding. We want to send him a gift. And I will just go for probably like 2.5 minutes of just making up these stories of
Oh, that's
like,
awesome.
it's fun. And because the McConaughey I can kind of just do and fly in the Peaky Blinders. Like I get a lot of people that have fantasy football drafts and stuff, and they want to announce draft orders. So those are kind of fun. Yeah, it's like I love doing the cameos. They're a blast, and it's just like doing them in my car.
Let me throw it in here. This link is like super long. I don't know why, but
oh damn,
it won't even fit in the chat. Is there a way to share this with
that's
that?
odd.
It's like this.
I might need to up the old link game.
No, it's not your fault. I think there's got to be a way to. Oh, here we go. Let me see if this works. Share, link copied. Throw it in here. Oh, there we go. All right, perfect. So we can actually watch right now. 24-hour delivery. So let's.
Oh boy.
Any of these you want me to show or no? Is there anything that's?
I don't know. I would just say if they have time to, if they want to peruse them, go for it.
I won't show them.
They get pretty repetitive.
Oh, I was just. By the way, again, I'm fucking thinking we're all looking at the screen and we're not. But.
Dude, I think JD was saying in the chat there that like Twitter is now just so much spam. Like I get so many spam messages too on Twitter. So I'm honestly surprised. Like, I saw like 7 spam messages, and then I got that message from you guys. So I saw that, and I was like, oh, this is legit.
I'm assuming these are the ones that you get. Hello, nice to meet you. Can we be friends? My Twitter is not online often. Can you add me on WhatsApp? Do you get those? It's the same Asian woman in every single one of them, and it's like, who fucking is WhatsApping these people? Are there people out there that this is working on?
I love to mess with it. I love to be like, hey, can I send you my social security first, or can I do something else, or like
date of birth? How about my address?
Yeah. Did you want my mother's maiden name or my father's last name? Yeah, it's fun to just like mess with them and with scam callers and stuff. I think I put a video out recently about that, but yeah, I think like making the best of any weird bad situation.
Like, you have that on the TikTok, right?
Yeah. Caitlin, yeah, come on, Caitlin, just spamming me.
Are they being out of control in the chat?
No, they're good.
Where is it? Is it here? Is it one of these ones I thought I saw it?
Yeah, it's right. My word. If you scroll up a little bit. Oh, it was on Instagram, I think is where I did it, but that's all right. Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's fun.
All right. Well, go ahead.
Yeah. No, that was it. But yeah, that one's fun, I think.
Anything else other than the book that you really want people to? I know we shared all your socials. Anything else that you want to?
Yeah. No, man. I think keep watching Shaman of Jay. Keep. Can I plug you? Is that something I can do?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. I would say no, man. Just if people want to watch the stuff, or if you guys, shoot me a message, or up for whatever.
Don't say that, dude. Do not. You're gonna get a lot of messages from the ladies. I have dated a girl, so yeah. Sorry. You hear that, ladies? He's dating. Calm yourselves down. Take a cold shower and don't message him unless it's about like a business opportunity. Yes, you're an honorary Bo of J Bo Nation.
What is? Oh, there's a J Bo Nation, and okay. Right. I said my brother's name is Bo.
I heard you. So, did you follow at all the Murdaugh? I don't know if you did the Alex Murdaugh trial where he killed his wife and he was a lawyer and he shot his son and his wife. It was a massive thing. It's Low Country on HBO. So it's this big thing.
Okay, I've heard of that. I've heard of Low Country.
I started by just tweeting that. Like I didn't even have a YouTube. I was making jokes but there's a guy in the South. They go, "Hey, Bo, like how you doing? Like, hey, bro, like kind of like that's their like what's up, bro? That's how they so we took that to Bo and guys, calm the fuck down. I told you to calm down. The Murdaugh Mysteries on Netflix. Sorry, I've been single. I already messaged him. I can be a business, Jay. Samantha's taking a shower. She's sad. He's dating. Calm yourselves down.
Appreciate the kind words, folks.
But thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on. Seriously, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, Jay, man, absolutely, man. Happy to hop back anytime. Yeah, great stuff on the show. I'm excited to kind of explore a little bit more. But yeah, dude, this has been great, and thanks to everybody who was tuning in.
All right, everyone, make sure you're following him everywhere and buy that book, especially if you want kids that you want to like you again. Mm-hmm. Buy the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you want the audio version, DM me. I'll send you the audio version. If you get the book, I'll send it for free. I don't care.
Oh, look at that! You hear that? You hear that, guys?
Yeah, I got the Peaky Blinders version. I got the McConaughey version, and that's it. That's my last plug.
Awesome. Thanks
I'm over
so much,
plugging,
man.
but yeah, hey, it's great to see you guys.
All right, take care. Well, all right, guys, what's going on with the trial? I don't even know. I'm lost. I hope you guys enjoyed that. He's awesome. That was so nice of him to come on. He didn't have to do that. I'm a tiny channel. He didn't have to go on and do that. So I really appreciate him coming on. Did you guys like it? Good. I'm glad. I'm always fucking nervous that I fucked it up. I fucked up some of the stuff with pulling up the Michelle. Jesus. Calder, thank you for DMing him. Thank you for doing that. He was super nice. What a nice guy. I missed the chat, and it's probably good because I would probably be blushing. Oh, thank you, Charlotte. If I saw the chat, I would probably be blushing beyond belief. So what's going on with the trial? Let me see.
Retain the property of
So we're in verdict watch? Is that what's going on? What should I do now? Yeah, he did bring the jury. That was really cool. Uh-oh.